Hi, friends. How are you? I hope we're doing well with wherever you are at this moment. It is freezing here today, but I am so grateful to have a warm home to be in and to be here teaching you how to use your essential oils for creating new habits. And we're going to talk about some ways you can create new habits, and we're going to talk about other ways that you can help stop maybe engaging in some not so wonderful habits that you may have. So let's get started. I love this quote by Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And this is just such a wonderful reminder that the little things that we do or don't do every day add up to be amazing things, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, so why do we do things that may not serve us to be our highest and best self? Usually it's because it gives us some type of dopamine hit, dopamine fix, right? So if we go and grab chocolate or sugar, that gives us dopamine and makes us feel good. So of course we were going to want to keep doing that. But so if we can keep dopamine high doing other things, then that can help us not engage in the addictive or not so wonderful habit that we're doing to get the dopamine another way. So here are a few things that you can do to help naturally produce dopamine, help keep those levels up, and be doing the things you want to do. So we have regular exercise, eating foods high in tyrosine, such as bananas, almonds, avocados, beans, fish. Those are a few examples. Meditation, big one, getting a massage, sleep, getting adequate sleep. So many people don't do enough of that. It's huge in so many aspects of your health. Listening to music and taking your lifelong vitality, especially your alpha CRS. So those are ways that you can naturally produce dopamine. Did you know you can also use oils for producing dopamine? How amazing is this? So this is a dopamine boost recipe. It's patchouli, bergamot, and copaiba. And you can take it internally in a capsule or under the tongue. So, and I had to know what all of these taste like so that I could tell you whether or not to take it under your tongue. So bergamot, a lot of people use to flavor tea, and it has like an Earl Grey tea flavor. So you could drink it in your water. Bergamot does not taste bad. It's pretty good. Copaiba is also a pretty chill oil to put in your water. I especially like it with lime. I put it in there. Patchouli, however, does not taste the best. So I would recommend putting it, if you're going to just take it internally, putting a drop underneath of your tongue. It tastes just like it smells like. It was not my favorite, but it was also not unbearable. I'd put it right up there with like close, right behind frankincense with how it tastes. Anyway, but just put it under your tongue and have a chaser. So I'm one I don't care how it tastes. If it's going to help me and I notice a difference with it, then I'm going to do it. So you can also just put them in a capsule, and that would make it easier. And did you know you can make your capsules ahead of time and you can put them in the freezer, and then you can use them every day that way and have them all ready to go. All right. So another thing that you can do to help you stay on track is using oils that are high in sesquiterpenes and that pass. So that means that they pass the blood-brain barrier and can help reset those thoughts. So some oils that are high in sesquiterpene properties are cedarwood, frankincense, ginger, myrrh, sandalwood, patchouli, vetiver, ylang ylang, DDR, prime, Intune, balance, and whisper. And if you want to know where to place them, it's on this area right here, the back of your head. It's kind of up in your hairline, just a little bit, or just under your hairline. And that is the best place to apply those particular essential oils that are high in sesquiterpene properties to help with either the negative thoughts or the unwanted thoughts of, I'm being obsessively thinking about needing to go eat sugar right now. I'm going to use this oil and put it on the back of my neck, and it helps. It's amazing how much it helps. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about other like protocols and recipes. I've got a bunch of these throughout. So these are oils to help with withdrawal. So if you're cutting something off cold turkey, say the new year, you made a resolution, you're not going to have any more, whatever, I don't know, and you're just doing it to kind of help you get through, right? Because the beginning, the more we have it, the more we want it. So then when you don't have it and you're used to having it for that dopamine fix or whatever it is, we can go into withdrawals. So grapefruit, lavender, wild orange are all really good oils to help with withdrawal. You can use them topically or aromatically. I also like past tense too. That kind of helps me with that. But this would be, that'd be a great diffuser blend, right? To help you kind of get through. And, just keep in mind, it's really just the first few days that are really, really difficult. Usually the first 3 days. And then after if you can pass for 3 days, then you can make it to 7. And it just gets easier and easier the more time that you can make it through. And this is a good motivational thought for when you're trying to create a new habit that may be a little bit more difficult for you. So the man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. So a little step at a time, it makes a difference. And it's starting, right? It's just starting sometimes to pick up that first stone and start. Having a motivational thought like this, or a reminder somewhere, like post it on your refrigerator, on your lock screen on your phone or on your computer, screensaver, wherever you can have those motivational thoughts to keep you focused on your why you're doing what you're doing, or wanting to make the changes that you're wanting to make, whether it's a picture or a quote, whatever it is, to help keep you focused on why you want to make this change in your life. Okay, so what are some essential oils that you can use? I love these. Jade Blade Baldwin made these little, she's made these cards goes over the physical but the emotional benefits. And I think she's done such a beautiful job. I have a few of them in here because they're just perfectly done. So we have Motivate. So Motivate helps with confidence, courage, and motivation. So obviously, if you're like, oh, I just need a little extra boost of confidence today that I can do this, and motivation that I can do this, grab the Motivate. It's great. And if you don't have it, if you don't have this one, you could use wild orange and peppermint. It's a great backup combination that you could do to replace the Motivate. Or if you have the children's Brave, that's also another great one that you could use. And both those have very similar properties to the Motivate as far as emotional support. Okay, so if you're creating a new habit, what are some good things that you can do that will help you? So number one is to set a reminder. I love to do this on my phone. So I'll set an alarm and I'll name the alarm like, remember to read a chapter of your book today, or remember to go start dinner so that we're not 7 o'clock wondering where dinner is. Whatever it is that I need help remembering to kind of keep me on track, I set reminders on my phone. So then I know exactly where I'm supposed to be going and what I'm supposed to be doing. I love it. Works for me. Telling your friends. This one's hard for me, but this works for a lot of people, to just tell your friends and family, those that you're around, hey, I am working on whatever, starting dinner before 5 o'clock, or I am working on, cutting white sugar out of my diet, whatever it is, right? So to tell your friends whatever it is that you're working on, so that when they're talking to you, or they can kind of ask you how it's going, or they can help support you in it, meaning they're not going to, if you're trying to cut out white sugar, they're not going to, come drop off a box of chocolates for you or cookies or whatever. Or if they're talking to you on the phone at 4 o'clock, they'd be like, hey, so what are you doing for dinner tonight? How's that working out? Right? It's good to have that support system. Linking it to an existing habit. So this one is actually my favorite. So this is how this works, for example, is say you are already really good at remembering to brush your teeth morning and night before you go to bed, and you want to start using an essential oil for warts, to get rid of a wart. Just use an example, and you need to apply it twice a day. So you're going to put that oil with your toothbrush, so that when you remember to brush your teeth, because that's already an established habit in the morning, you go, oh yeah, there's my oil right next to my toothbrush. I'm going to use that oil to put on my wart. Or whatever it is. And then again at night, because you're already in the habit of brushing your teeth, you're going to see that oil again and you're going to go, oh yeah. So then you're associating it with the existing habit that already has. Another one is to make it easy. People talk about this with exercise, right? Like have it planned, have your clothes laid out, everything, have your shoes untied, have everything all ready to go, even have your plan of what you're going to do, have it so easy that you can't not do it, right? And that works for vitamins too, right? Like if I'm wanting to make sure I'm doing really well about taking my vitamins, having them all already laid out for the week in the little containers makes it easy to take them. And then lastly, reward yourself. If, you've made it all week and you've exercised, or all week and you've taken all your vitamins, have some little reward for yourself, whether it's, a bath, an Epsom salt bath, or, having a few minutes of just peace and quiet and meditation, or maybe you're treating yourself by making your favorite treat, or, going and shopping at your favorite store, whatever it is, just make sure that you reward yourself for keeping your new habit. All right. So some other oils to use to help you on emotional level. This is a great one. Endocrine is the oil of transition. So if you're trying to switch from one thing to next, I am all about pulling in some endocrine for that emotional support. It's also a great one to use just for detoxing, right? Which I'm actually currently using it now, the endocrine oil and the endocrine complex, just to help with some detoxing. But it is a great oil to help with transitioning. If you have the essential oil, Emotions and Essential Oil app, you can pull it up and read about it there, or the book, and you can read more about it in detail. But this is just to give you a brief idea. Forgive is another one, especially if you're having a difficult time forgiving yourself and feeling really critical or self-judgment there of like, oh, of course I can't, quit smoking or whatever it is, because look at how many times I've already tried. Like I've tried so many times and I still can't do it. So feeling not very forgiving towards yourself, forgive is a wonderful oil to use. And this also comes in a touch. I love the rollers. That makes it so much easier to use. And if you're using oils for emotional support, great places to put them are on your wrist, over your heart, or behind your ears. Those are my 3 favorite places to put them for emotional support. Another one is hope. This one you've got to feel good about when you buy it, because 100% of the proceeds go to help stopping human trafficking. But this is all about if you're just feeling like kind of despaired and like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can overcome it or whatever. This is a great one to just give you courage and belief that you can do it, right? And just to help you feel hopeful, like the name says, and that you can move on. I'm all about going for ones that smell good to you. So, if you have all of these, go and smell a few and say, oh yeah, that is the one that is speaking to me right now. I love how that smells and how it makes me feel when I smell it. Bergamot is another one, really good for negative self-talk. Bergamot is really good for that. Just self-acceptance, confidence, a lot of similar things I'm sure you're seeing. So you can see how they're all kind of connected. This one's great for stress. And obviously this was also in the one that we listed for the dopamine boost. Addictions, all kinds of good stuff. Anyway, Bergamot is definitely one of my favorites. All right, let's talk about what are a few more protocols that we have. I've gotten almost all of these from the Essential Life book. So this is where all these recipes came from. So this is sugar cravings. If you're having sugar cravings, maybe white sugar is something that you're trying to cut out, or maybe you're just trying to cut back on the amount of sweets that you're eating. So here are a few oils that will help and how you can use them. So basil, you're just going to smell it like aromatically. So you could put it in the diffuser. There's lots of yummy diffuser blends that involve basil. You can just Google doTERRA basil diffuser blends and get a whole bunch of them. Cinnamon. I love cinnamon internally. It really does help with sugar cravings. It helps balance blood sugar levels. You can just put a little bit, like kind of wipe it off the top of the lid. You could put it right on your tongue. You can put a drop in your water or make a tea. It's delicious. I love it. So it is a hot oil. So just keep that in mind. Remember, if you ever get a hot oil anywhere where you do not want it, just apply some fractionated coconut oil or olive oil or almond oil, whatever you've got, to help dilute it down. That will help as opposed to washing it off with water. Okay, grapefruit is another really good one. And either aromatically or internally drinking it. Thyme, best way to use it is in a capsule. That's another hot one. Just keep that in mind. And then Slim and Sassy, either drinking it in your water or putting it in a capsule. And they do have the soft gels, obviously. So those are all good ones to help with sugar cravings. All right, so maybe caffeine's your thing. Maybe you struggle with caffeine. So here's, and that's a doozy, right? But here's here are a few things that you can do to help you. So placing basil on the bottom of your feet. Basil is a great one for feeling renewed and for adrenal support. It's just a good one to help give you that energy. Slim and Sassy, drinking it in your water in a capsule. And grapefruit. You can see some similar ones, right, that are linked with the sugar addiction one there. There's a bunch of them the same, right? Anyway, so yeah, so there you go. So that's a few things that can help you. Obviously, if you can keep feeling from tired, then you're going to be less likely to feel that addiction. So maybe working in an extra hour of sleep, or putting some peppermint or spearmint in the diffuser throughout the day when you normally would be going to grab that extra, caffeinated beverage, whatever it may be. Maybe that would help. Okay, what about nail biting? Oh gosh, my kids do this. I've been working on this one for a while. I've got one that bites them and one that just picks at them. Anyway, so here are some tips for nail biters. So you can put some yucky tasting oils on your nails. Keep your nails short and smooth. Always carry clippers or a file with you. That definitely is a big one, I think. Just trying to stop biting one nail at a time. I love that, especially for kids. Using a common oil when you're feeling stressed. Chewing gum, I think that would make it worse for me, but that's obviously a personal preference. Using olive oil or something similar to keep your nails soft, so then it doesn't have that same feeling when you go to bite it, so then you don't want to. Asking a friend to help you keep on track, rewarding yourself with regular manicures, all kinds of things. And I would think lavender would be a great oil to put on your nails because it's good for your nail health. It's good for your skin, but then it also tastes awful. I mean, it just tastes like flour, right? So yeah, but use whatever oil that would work for you. All right, if you have a hard time leaving work at work, these are some good diffuser blends that you can do for just a couple hours during the day while you're at work. All of them involve ylang-ylang, which I think is interesting. Anyway, but some good combinations there. So either wild orange with ylang-ylang, or basil with wild orange and ylang-ylang, geranium and whisper with ylang-ylang, or serenity with ylang-ylang. Anyway, just good ones to help you keep work at work and let it go when you get home and just enjoy your downtime or your family or whatever it is that you have at home. All right, now let's get into a few other things we have. Pornography addiction. So obviously this is not meant to replace any therapy or professional help that you're needing for any of these things, but this is just to help support you with things that you might be struggling with. It's just so nice to know that you have more tools that you can add to your tool belt, right? More resources. And that's what this class is all about. So a few things that can help: frankincense under the tongue a couple times a day, one to twice a day. That can help with so many things. I do it to help with anxious thinking. So I would do that anyway. It just helps with clear thoughts. Helichrysum or vetiver over your lower abdomen once a day, or basil purify or balance aromatically to help prevent and when urges arise. So purify is just going to help get rid of that negative thoughts. Balance just helps with that emotional balance. Obviously, it just helps bring you back to center. And basil, again, is that oil of renewal, right? We talked about before with the caffeine addiction. Okay, so what about cravings? Cravings of whatever it might be, for as far as, I think this is particularly with food, but it could be with anything. But grapefruit or kumquat, if you have that oil, I love the smell of that one. Into your hands, rub it together, and then cup your hands together and slowly inhale. That's called cup diffusing. And then it says you can augment it with a drop of patchouli, which remember was also good for the dopamine fix, right? So, yeah, and then the citrus is very uplifting and supportive, like emotionally, like you can do this, because you can. Okay, overeating control. What are some oils that you can use? Because sometimes don't you just have those nights sometimes where you're just like, oh, it feels insatiable. Like you can tell you're eating around something, right? Like you're stressed over something maybe, or worried about something, or thinking about something that's making you want to eat. And I'll have those nights once in a while and go, oh my goodness, like what is going on? Anyway, so this is a great combination of black pepper, ginger, grapefruit, lemon, and peppermint. And you can apply to bottoms of the feet, or you can take in a capsule. This is before eating. And additionally, you can also diffuse any of these oils. I think it's brilliant. I've not tried this, but I think it's a great idea. It definitely would be all about diffusing those. So it'd be a great one. I love black pepper and the diffuser. It's yummy. All right. And so this is internet addiction. So, I mean, basically social media. How many people are addicted to social media, as well as video games, of course. But so these protocols are serenity or vetiver on the temples a couple times a day. And it's as if vetiver is too intense, because that is a strong smell. You can layer it with wild orange. It's always a great one to lighten up any oil that maybe is a bit too heavy for you. And then balance on the bottom of your feet each day, which I would recommend to everyone, because it's such a great foundation for some healthy emotions. And then what are a few oils that you can use to help support any tobacco or nicotine cravings? Black pepper is a huge one here for, aromatically, internally. On Guard or cinnamon are also very, very good. You can use them either in your water or under your tongue, but those are hot oils, so I'd be cautious with that. But a lot of people have success with putting them on their toothbrush with their toothpaste when they're doing it. And then here's another combination of clove, frankincense, and peppermint using on the bottom of your feet. So you could mix it up in a roller if you wanted to, or aromatically in the diffuser. It says, or you could mix it up and put it in mixture water. And I would be cautious with that again, because clove is a hot oil, but just don't put ice in your water or anything, you'd be fine. So those are some other great tools to help you with that, if that's something you're working on. And then what are some things you can do to help if you're trying to cut back on your drinking or supporting your liver? 1 to 2 drops of copaiba on the tongue when cravings hit, and then taking twice a day, and a capsule helichrysum, which is very, very good for liver. Also could just apply it topically over your liver or the bottom of your feet for the reflex points. I've done the helichrysum topically just to help support liver with healthy cholesterol levels, and it should really help. So just simple things that you can do. Why not, right? Okay, and I love these diffuser blends. I take a long time to kind of settle in, not a long time, but I love to really mull things over and percolate on it the whole month of January. Like, what do I want this year to look like? What are some of the goals that I want to set for myself, or that I want to do with the family? And what are the different categories, if you will, like financial and physical health and emotional health and work-wise? What are all the different areas of my life, something that I want to work on? And I really take time to sit and ponder it and think about it, so that I'm not just spontaneously spitting out the first thing that I think of on December 30th, 31st, whatever. So I take some time to do that. But anyway, so these are some great diffuser blends, and it's never a wrong time of the year. I mean, here it is January, and so it's fresh on everyone's mind, but it's always a good time to set new goals and try to improve yourself and make yourself a better person. Because if you don't start today, right, the time is going to pass anyway. And then where will you be a year from now or 2 years from now? It'd be the same if we don't make any changes, right? So you can do it. You can do it. Anyway, these are some great diffuser blends. I love diffuser blends. And the one that is the best, the yummiest for me on this one is the planning one with lemongrass, equal part, or no, it's not equal parts, sorry. 2 drops of lemongrass, 3 drops of tangerine, and 3 drops of spearmint. Yum. Very good. All right. And that's all we have. So join us next time. We've got a few different Facebook Live classes coming up. We'll have those recorded. I don't know how or if I can get those on YouTube, but I am certainly going to try. But anyway, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay. Bye-bye.